Hey there. I'm sure you're all aware of the obesity epidemic that's hit America. Well, get this. Recent surveys show 40% of our four-legged friends are also overweight. That's 48 million fat cats and dogs in the United States alone. Like Ruby here. She looks like she could be carrying 3 Jack Russell Terriers all in one. We decided to pay a visit to the Center for Specialized Veterinary Care in Long Island, and we're about to meet Dr. Diane Levitan to find out about obesity and what it means to our pets. Now here's the kicker.
It's my girl.
This fat dog is actually her dog, and you're the vet talking to us about obesity.
Shame on me.
Except that you have a good excuse.
I do.
You got her fat.
I do. Ruby came this way. We rescued her from here, from our veterinary hospital, where somebody really didn't want to give her the attention that she needed, and they wanted us to actually euthanize her.
Really?
And none of us would do that here for a dog that was potentially healthy.
Yeah.
So I adopted her. She became part of our family. Ruby's a great little girl, and believe it or not, she does exercise a lot, but she is very overweight.
What's really the rule of thumb to know if your dog truly is overweight?
We use a body condition score, and here's an example of the system that we use. Our scale is 1 to 9. Unfortunately, Ruby is about a 9, and we really want her to be about a 5. And a 5 is a dog where if you stand above them, you can see a waist.
Right.
Yes, they do have a waist, and underneath their belly, they don't sag and leave snow prints.
And in dogs, what are some of the risks that you run with overweightness?
When they're this heavy, and if you look at Ruby's belly, and I don't want to rub it in, but I mean, her belly is so big and round. It's very cute, though.
It's like rubbing the happy Buddha.
She's my happy Buddha.
Make a wish.
But the hard part for this is that it's hard for her lungs to expand. This big belly's actually putting pressure on her chest, so it's making it harder for her to breathe. If it was really hot weather, it would be harder for her than it would be for a dog that's in good shape.
Right.
They're also not used to carrying this much weight. Their joints aren't made to carry so much, same as people. So she's much more prone to developing arthritis or other chronic joint problems. So if you could see that the slim body line here, this is actually the dog's stomach. This is the normal thin dog.
Okay.
You can see the size of the pelvis, and there's not...
You can see the waist.
Yeah, you can see a waist. That's a really... Whereas Ruby's belly, there is no waist whatsoever. That's a clear sign. And if we were to look at her hips, which we can't see very well, she may have a little bit of early arthritis.
All right, Doc, talk to me on the reasons why your dog is fat. People's dogs in general, that is.
You know, a lot of dogs may be fat, but you definitely want to make sure that there's not a medical reason why they're overweight. But even, like, there are some medical reasons, like Cushing's disease, which is an overactive adrenal gland, or hypothyroidism, which is an underactive thyroid. Those things are definitely going to cause your dog to be fat. Even if they have those problems, you still really need to work on getting them thin. Well, the #1 reason for them being fat, other than medical, would be same reason we get fat. I hate to admit it.
We feed our dogs too much.
We feed them too much, and these creatures are so manipulative, aren't they? I mean, they know how to get exactly what they want from us. So some people like to have little categories of their dog, personalities. You know, it really depends on the pet's personality as well as the owner's personality.
Their pet style.
Their pet style, there you go. So some owners tend to be a little overweight themselves, tend to be overeaters themselves, and they tend to share their love with their pets through food also.
So let's talk about the categories. There's the nibbler.
The nibbler. Well, the nibbler is a dog that's constantly fed little bits during the day, will nibble here and there. Other people may not realize that they're eating because they're nibbling little bits, and it looks like there's not very much missing. Those dogs are probably being overfed, even though it doesn't appear to be. And the easiest way to tell is by looking at them.
The beggar.
The beggar. Well, Ruby's a good example of a beggar too, but you know those dogs, they'll sit there and they'll give you those puppy dog eyes because they're so hungry because they didn't eat 3 cans of food already the same day. But it's their instinct to beg, to ask for food all the time. And a lot of times they're going to manipulate us and they're going to get it.
And you just have to, as owners, say no.
And if you're going to do it, give them non-fat treats.
What about the good dog?
Well, the good dog, every time they jump through a hoop, roll over, sit down, smile at you, greet you at the door.
See. Right.
I've met people in the supermarket who said, Dr. Levitan, look what I carry in my pocket for my dog, and they pull out treats. They have them with them all the time because they want to reward their dogs. They want to give them love by rewarding them with food. They'll find any reason.
Any reason, which is not the way to go. What about the gourmet?
And then there's the gourmet, people who feed their dogs so much table food that by that point the dogs don't want to eat any dog food.
I understand there's certain breeds that are more prone to gaining weight.
It's true. A lot of breeds are prone to gaining weight. And we're not always sure, is it the owner who's more likely to own that breed and that's why they gain weight, or is it the breed themselves? Most likely it's the breed themselves.
Which are some of the breeds?
So like the Basset Hound, the Beagle is often very overweight, and even Labradors can really become overweight.
Well, actually we met a guy who has 4 English Bulldogs, and he explained to us how difficult it is to keep them all in shape. Check it out.
Hi, my name is John Schwartz. I live on the Upper East Side, and I have 4 bulldogs, and you know, my wife and I are in love with the breed, as many people are. Gus here is a little more than 5.5 months old, and pretty soon I'll be cutting back on his feeds. He's close to 50 pounds, and he should be no more than 55 to 60. He's a couch potato. When I take him to the park, he doesn't run around as much. He'd prefer to sit on your lap. This is Squeak. She's 4 months old, a little more than 4 months old, and she looks like she's going to turn out to be a large dog. Peanut has a lot of issues, but weight is certainly one of them. As you can see, she's extremely small for an English bulldog, and because of that, weight is an issue. You can see she's got a lot of fat here. I've taken a few pounds off her. She can probably stand to lose a few more. She does have bad knees. You know, I have to keep her on diet food and cut back and try to get her as much exercise as possible.
All right, so tell us, what can owners do to slim down their overweight dogs?
Probably the most important thing to do is to get in good habits when they're puppies. So good habits, good behavior, good eating strategies. Have a plan for when they're little, after they've gotten neutered, and when they get older, because their nutritional requirements are going to change.
You know, unlike with cats, you can really exercise with your dogs. You can go for a run with them, you can play catch, you can go for walks. So exercise must be really key in keeping your dog in shape.
Keep them active, just like us. You know, we can eat more if we're more active.
What about treats for our dog?
A lot of dogs love broccoli, they like carrots.
I know a dog who loves carrots.
So it's great. You know, we use treats for a lot of things too. We use it for training and for good behavior and things like that. So if you feel you're in a situation where you have to give them treats, break it in half.
Thank you, Dr. Levitan, for filling us in. And just remember, you want high-quality, meat-based food. You want treats like vegetables, broccoli, carrots. And if you need to give them a real treat, like a dog treat, break it in half. They'll never know the difference. And of course, you can never go wrong with exercise.